We welcome in David Hansel, who's president of Alpha Funding Solutions based in New Jersey, joins us on the show right now. David, welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you.
Throw it out there. We're going to spring. Is it time to buy or rent?
I think both. It's just a personal decision, and right now the opportunity to buy is still very strong for most people, with mortgage rates still being historically low. We're seeing some price increases, but it's still a great time to buy. But I think for each individual, they have to decide what they're looking to do and how long they plan on being where they're at, whether it makes sense for them.
And it still seems like there's a decent amount of inventory out there if you do want to go buy, correct?
Yeah, certain markets you're having, there is some low inventory levels, but you're looking in general anywhere between 4 and 6 months worth of inventory in some of the prime markets. So there is good inventory, and that gives buyers an option of what they can do.
And again, the market-to-market question is obviously an important one, because if you look at certain areas of the country right now, if you go down south, the Atlanta area, it's obviously growing, but the prices seemingly are still pretty affordable. You go out, well, California in itself is a factor, but the San Francisco area now is considered the most expensive market in the country right now, correct?
Yeah, the West Coast has seen incredible growth, and certainly San Francisco. And our core business is providing capital to builders and developers and rehabbers, and we have some strong relationships with lenders over, on the other side of the country, and numbers just continuously driving up. It's starting to feel a little frothy and maybe bubblish out there. It's just hard to imagine how those rents can be sustained, how those sale prices can be sustained.
What is it that, we have seen rents just soar the last couple of years, and it doesn't seem like that's going to stop anytime soon.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not. Okay. I think some of the really high-priced markets, you look at New York City and what's happening around New York City, certainly Brooklyn has become almost like a core market. Yeah. Jersey City and Newark are seeing, really they're benefiting from these exorbitantly high prices in Manhattan. And so people have made the decision to spread out, and provided there's good access to public transportation, these outlying areas are receiving incredible benefit. And I'll also say that some of these core markets like New York, San Francisco are driven and up on the heels of Asian and Middle Eastern investments, and if that changes, that could certainly put a big damper in those marketplaces. Maybe people start to move back to those areas. But I do think that San Francisco, New York City, you're starting to see stuff taper off, because there's other alternatives that are becoming great options for the younger working class that are working in those cities.
And that move that we've seen the last couple of years, that obviously has been written quite a bit about, of younger couples moving back into cities. Is that a little bit of a cyclical move? Like, obviously, they will be in there to a certain point, and obviously, they'll start to think about having a family, and they will move out to the suburbs. Or is this a trend that's really going to continue for a while, do you think?
So I believe the trend's going to continue, and you're seeing some developers in some of these up-and-coming areas now trying to build and develop 3-unit apartments that can accommodate maybe a family of 4 if they choose to. The 2 bedrooms really force. There's not a lot of inventory in that space. So if the developers come in and offer that product, I think people will likely stay, but there's always going to be, as kids get to the school age, moving out further out. But I see that continuing to grow, and more alternatives for these families to be in the city and be more in a transit-oriented center rather than being out in the suburbs.